Hello, we are going live. Let's see when it's starting. There is a bit of delay. Yes, starting. Very good. So, hello, Queen. Today we have a very special live transmission, not just because of the importance of this day, because a new year is just starting. We are New Year's Eve. I'm all ready for this cozy winter changing of year live transmission. And yes, I decided to do it today in a little bit more cozy kind of way because we are also introducing a very important topic that is a bit like taboo nowadays. So we are going to reframe a taboo topic. Since I am a linguistics expert, I love talking about taboo topics. I love getting deeper. I love analyzing why we don't want to say the things that are true sometimes. So yes, we're going to get really deep. And as you saw already, the topic of today's live is... Wait, I was not having the recording just in case. Now I have it. So the topic of today is why high-achieving women should marry for provision, safety, and shared goals, and not just love, or whatever we call love, which is not really love, it's just attraction or intimacy, too early intimacy, usually. So yes, let's start with reframing this taboo topic so much. So yeah, it's something that often makes people a bit uncomfortable, and I can understand, we have so many of these concepts of escorts related to that, but it has nothing to do. But I can understand why it's making people uncomfortable, also because of the indoctrination, this brainwashing we've had for 50 years, 40 years more or less, in television, in the cinema, about how, focusing on safety and money and provision is called being an escort, and it's not called love, it's not called family, it's not called choosing the best for your offspring, but how they call it like that, and how they are misunderstanding all the concepts around it, and instead of that they focus on no, just do this family thing with whoever you slept one night, and then you are already attached to them, and you think they are perfect just because you slept with them, and you are releasing these hormones and then stay with them, without making an assessment, without checking if this person is sharing your goals, at least nothing. So we are gonna go a bit deeper into this topic today and giving some solutions about it. So yes, especially in modern culture today, like I was saying, why provision and safety should matter deeply when a high-achieving woman chooses a husband. This is often framed as marrying for money, depending on a man, not being independent enough, or the word escort like we were mentioning before. And what we are going to do today is reframe this completely, because this is not about greed. It is not about lazy. And it's definitely not about lacking ambition, because we know, lady, we are high-achieving women. We don't lack the ambition at all. It is about biology, nervous system regulation, energy, and long-term purpose. And especially, it is about allowing a high-achieving woman to focus on what she is truly here to build. And yeah, how high-achieving women, and how do they have this energy of wanting to pursue their desires, their goals, and going all the way in. So what I call this high-achieving woman, high-value woman, we are wired somehow a bit differently sometimes. We are visionary, driven, mentally fast, capable of carrying responsibility, and most of the times we are not so much made to be the typical employee in a normal job, because those ladies manage with their 9 to 5 job very easily, but this kind of women not so much. So It is a problem, but it's also an opportunity, because then most of the times we have a big calling, a big purpose goal, and then we just pursue it. So, and this can bring a lot of benefit to the world, really. So, what many high achieving women and what they end up doing is over functioning. For example, providing emotionally, providing financially, regulating the relationship. And this I'm the first one to blame. I was doing that 8 years ago in a 5-year relationship where it ended up being so abusive. And of course it was, because I was destroyed. I was over functioning and I could not deal with anything. So it's really, this is something that we are not made for and that no one can sustain so much. But I will get back to that later in the video, in the live. So this over functioning is leading, it's like leading everything, and over time this creates exhaustion, resentment, and burnout, and can destroy even the relationships which have the bigger possible outcome, So this can destroy really a lot. And even if the woman is successful, even if we are not destroying, even if we manage to become 70, 80 with this system, biology, like this biologically is really making you a bit sicker, not feeling so good, and it's really not working, It's really your body, your hormones are not ready for that. So what is the biology about this safety and this female nervous system? How does it work? So here's something that modern culture ignores. A woman's nervous system needs safety to relax into creativity, intuition, and expansion. When a woman does not feel emotionally or financially safe, her body stays in survival mode. And survival mode is excellent for hustling, grinding, pushing, but it is terrible for vision, creativity, embodiment. So this long-term purpose provision is not just money, nothing like that. It is nervous system safety. It is knowing that you go into a relationship, into a marriage, to really be the best and to not lose your health and not lose your purpose. It's just as simple as that, Because then if you are not really into that, might as well stay single, really, because you are going to suffer so much. So if you are regulated, then go for it. We need to regulate, and we need to have this safety feeling, this becoming our purpose, so we can thrive on marriage. So when a man provides, the woman's system can finally downregulate. And from that place, businesses grow, ideas mature, children are raised consciously, purpose comes just in time. So what is my personal story about this and why this matters? So what I want to share is something personal. Years ago, like I was telling you, I was in a relationship that was not safe, emotionally or energetically. There was instability, some subtle abuse, and constant uncertainty. At the same time, I was trying to build my own projects and entrepreneurial path. Back then when I was personal trainer and health coach only. Now I'm focusing on life coaching, like and nowadays even more in dating and marriage coaching. But back then I was focusing on that, and because that was my vibe, that was the stage of life I was vibing, and I could help many people through that. So I was in my own projects and entrepreneurial path, like I was saying. And what happened? My nervous system was constantly activated by this, by this everything that was going around me. I'm not going to say by this man, obviously, but there was this lack of stability in everything I was providing. I was everything in this relationship. Therefore, my nervous system was constantly activated. I couldn't rest, I couldn't trust, I couldn't truly expand. Eventually, I had to make a difficult decision, and I stepped back from my entrepreneurship at that time and returned to an office corporate job. Not because I lacked ambition, not because it was not for me, but because I needed stability to heal. And this is something many high-achieving women don't want to admit. When there is no safety in the relationship, the woman will seek safety elsewhere, sometimes through work, sometimes through over-control, sometimes through shutting down her desires. And what is the role of marriage provision and how it gives freedom to us? So, in my case, today my life looks very different. I am married to a man who provides, not only financially, but emotionally and structurally. And here is the paradox of modern feminism that they never talk about. Provision gives freedom because now I don't work from panic, I don't create from fear, I don't hustle to survive. I work from purpose. And maybe this is not for everybody. Maybe this is not for the woman who is in the 9 to 5 circle and they like it, Maybe it's not from them, but it is for sure for the for the high achieving women. It is for her. So, also, entrepreneurship has cycles. That is what many founders call the valley of death. Moments of uncertainty, fluctuation, risk. And when a woman is held by a stable provider, she can ride those waves and continue with her dream, a career, dream, business, whatever is her purpose, And she can ride those waves without collapsing her nervous system when she has this provision and this help. And that changes everything. That creates really good things for the world. Because really, when women get to it, they can really become royalty. They can really be something else, They can really make deep impact in the world. And yeah, already about, because if you've been here for a while, you know a bit about my background in linguistics and neurolinguistics programming. And this taught me something crucial that I applied for this daily. Your nervous system must be calibrated before your life can expand sustainably. And this we can do through our neurolinguistics programming, subconscious programming, very easily. I use these tools first to heal relational patterns, of course, soften hyperindependence, and recalibrate my sense of safety. And that inner work made first marriage possible. And now those same tools help me navigate entrepreneurship from clarity, embodiment, regulation, not from urgency and fear, like before at some point I was doing. And yeah, that's why my background makes this work different, because I really take into account how you should talk to yourself and to others and how you should express also body-wise. And this we will see in a moment. So yeah, why do I teach this dating for marriage and marriage coaching the way I do? Why I do it through this neurolinguistics background, this my own personal experience, and also my performing arts experience. This I will get to it in a minute. Because my approach didn't come from social media trends, which happens sometimes. And I understand, there are also some social media trends that are useful and they are bringing some power. But it doesn't, in my case, it didn't come from copying other dating coaches. And it definitely didn't come from theory alone. As you know, it is my experience, you can see my whole life. I can even bring up, if you need, my personal training and health coaching videos from back like 7 years ago. I have this long journey that you can see, like you can see I'm married, you can see everything. So it's completely transparent. And yeah, my background is very specific, and that's what and very embodied also. First, with my university studies in linguistics, and linguistics is not just about languages. No. It is about how meaning is created in the brain, how identity is shaped through words, patterns, and internal narrative. That naturally led me into neurolinguistics programming, this PNL. And PNL gave me a very deep understanding of how attraction is wired, how self-image is formed, how women unconsciously signal availability, value, or confusion. and how these signals are picked up instantly by men. This means that when I teach dating for marriage, I am not guessing. I can hear, see, and decode what a woman is communicating, even when she thinks she isn't. And here I will get into another layer that most dating coaches simply don't have, the knowledge about. My background in performing arts. I didn't just study it, I work in it. I did movies, I did short movies, I was in theater, I was dancing, choreographing. I was in the performing industry for quite a while, let's say almost my whole life. And performing arts teach you something fundamental: the difference between acting and being, between pretending confidence and actually inhabiting it, between copying feminine behaviors and truly embodying feminine presence. In performing arts, embodiment is everything. Your body cannot and must not lie. If not, you are completely out. You know how difficult that work is. And this trained my eye and my nervous system to immediately recognize when someone is truly embodied and when they are performing an idea of femininity. Because this, I'm sure you see this every day in social media. If you have some kind train the algorithm to show you some feminine energy or dating content, for sure you've seen this. There is a trend. I don't wanna criticize, but there is this trend of all Latina woman or Slavic woman, and they just go into stereotypes, like really acting. They are not embodying. They are just acting. They are just showing the exaggeration of something. What for? I don't know. I'm a performer, and yeah, if it was for humor, I understand humor. Okay, I get it. But most of the times they want to teach something. It's not humor, and they are teaching it like kind of in a fake, exaggerated way, And I don't see the need for that, because this breaks all the performing arts ways, It breaks all the linguistics ways. We are just inventing a persona. We are not just being ourselves and embodying and doing this identity shift coming from ourselves. We are just trying to copy and get from someone else. And especially if you are like me, I'm a Spanish person, why would I copy a Slavic woman? Why would I? I don't know anything about it. Why would I copy when I can embody the identity I want to create, what I want to attract, without losing myself or my cultural background? Why would I? So I understand the trends. They can be funny, yes. But here you can focus on really being, not just performing or copying. And this is crucial, because men don't respond to techniques or trends. They respond to states of being, And why we also use the somatic knowledge and felt experience to help with this process. This is where this somatic experience really comes in. I don't just explain concepts intellectually. I guide women to feel the shift in their body. For example, changing posture, breath placement, tempo of movement, voice resonance. These are techniques borrowed directly from performing arts training, and they work because they bypass the mind and speak directly to the nervous system. If not, think about it. How are you believing so much in the movie? Like, you feel like it's real, because really the actors and actresses are really embodying it. They are not copying. They are not your regular lady in Instagram copying or performing some funny act. It's nothing like that. It feels very real because they are embodying. And that's why embodiment creates instant changes in how women are perceived. Not because men are shallow, not because the body communicates truth faster than words. No. And why this matters for you? This combination, linguistics, neurolinguistics programming, and performing art and somatic awareness, gives me something very rare. I can see misalignment instantly, guide women back into their body, help them embody the woman they want to be, not just think about her. This is why my work is not about scripts, it's not about manipulation, it's not about performing a role. It is about becoming. And when a woman becomes aligned, regulated, embodied, dating for marriage stops feeling hard, really. It is so pleasurable, you cannot imagine. Men self-select and clarity increases and chaos disappears. I can tell you that. So I want to be very clear about something also. Being high achieving does not mean only business or career, not at all. Some women are high achieving and it's showing in their motherhood, in their education. They like to study one bachelor and another one and another one. They are crazy about education. I think if I was not doing what I'm doing, I would also be the same. I would be doing more education on ballet or dancing and performing arts and also philosophy and psychology. Like I would be studying again and again. If I had the time, I would really do it, really. If that day had 48 hours instead of 24, for sure I would. Also they are high achieving in homemaking, conscious family building, and those paths also require safety and provision to be done well. So dating for marriage, choosing provision and shared goals allows a woman to focus deeply on what truly matters to her without being fragmented. So just think about it, how much you could benefit if you start this journey. Because think about it, high quality men do not marry women who are over-available, unclear, energetically chaotic. They marry women who are embodied, selective, calm, clear. Women who naturally inspire provision. This is not manipulation, this is energetic alignment. When a woman is calibrated correctly, men don't approach her casually. Trust me. They approach her with intention, never with rush. So right now I want to invite you to a 2-day workshop that I'll be hosting the 4th and 5th of January. This is exactly what we will explore practically in this upcoming 2-day workshop. It is a live demo of my 3-month program, Becoming the Dream Girl. And here you will see how calibration works, how feminine embodiment shifts male behavior, and how to become the woman men naturally want to marry and provide for you. You learn about the love list, conscious partner selection, how to stop attracting situationships, and how to become the woman who chooses calmly, clearly, powerfully. So think about it. Provision is not about dependency. It is about freedom from survival. When a woman is safe, she becomes magnetic. When she's regulated, she becomes powerful. When she's provided for, she can finally give her gifts to the world. Choose alignment, choose safety, choose purpose, and join me in the 4th and 5th of January in the live workshop so you can participate. You have the registration link below and also the Telegram group where we will be also sending the information. So keep it up, stay there, and see you in a few days.